What's up guys, today I'm parked at OB. We're throwing from the short tees with what might be Discraft's best tour series yet. Let's check it out. Alright, so obviously today we're doing something a little bit different. I'm not on the course, I'm in my office. We did take these discs out and I forgot to plug the mic into the right hole in the camera, and so we lost all that audio. But it does give me a chance to show you guys these discs up close, give you guys a look at the profiles on as many as we have. At the Spring Flight Open last weekend, Discraft released a limited number of this year's new tour series, and when the event was over, Ledgestone picked up the remaining inventory, and those are going to be on sale right now in the link in the description. Check those out. We do have limited quantities. Once they're gone, they're not gone forever. You'll just have to wait for the Discraft full tour series release later this spring. For the sake of discussion, we're going to go highest speed to lowest speed, starting with the Nuke. Ezra Aderhold returns in 2025. It's no surprise that he went with the Nuke. What is going to be surprising for a lot of players is how useful this disc is, regardless of your arm speed. When I say that, this is coming from someone who I'd refer to myself as an intermediate to advanced thrower. Somewhere in the ballpark of 400 feet is my max, to give you sort of a rough estimate of what I can do. And for me, this disc flipped. It's not something that really surprised me. I've had nukes that have been able to turn in the past, but something about holding this disc made me think that it was going to be that crash and burn overstable that only the big guns are going to be able to get a hold of. But for me, this thing flew great. I was able to throw it on hyzer, it flipped up, turned a little bit. The profile feels great, it's got a little bit of dome. And yeah, if you're a fan of the Nuke, this is going to be a great option, so you might want to check these out. Next is the Venom. Obviously, AB is coming back this year with the Venom again. Some of you may have been expecting the Cicarra, his new disc. The 7-speed, sort of more overstable cicada that everyone's, chomping at the bit to get their hands on. But no, he's returning with the Venom again, and I can see why. For Peter, this thing flew incredibly overstable, and if you watch the Supreme Flight Open, you'll know that AB was relying on this disc a ton. For someone like me, the Venom is not going to be something that I'm relying on, especially not this run. They seem to be very overstable, but with a lot of glide. So if you're someone with a lot of power or needing that everyday fight any level of wind disc, then you might want to check out the new Venom. Like I said before, unfortunately I don't have the force of the Thrasher, so unfortunately we're not going to be able to show you guys those, but stay tuned. As soon as I get my hands on them, you guys will be the first to see them. Next up is maybe the disc I was the most excited about, the new Paige Pierce Drive. I've been throwing the Drive a ton. I have a Jawbreaker Z1 in my bag. I love the test flights, I love the prototypes, I love the first runs. Top down, I think it's a great disc. This run, however, is different, and I don't mean that in a bad way. What I've noticed with these, the two that I've thrown, is they tend to be a touch more understable than the stock drives. Had a lot of fun throwing it around with a tailwind that goes straight as a rope. They feel great, the drive, very comfortable, and these are going to be a staple for anyone looking for that quick flip, aggressive distance driver. If you've ever seen me throw, you know I also love the Scorch. Unfortunately, like I said earlier, we do not have any of those to show off. But again, as soon as I get them, you guys will be the first to see them. Next up, the Holland Hanley Vulture. These things are sweet. If you're a fan of the Vulture, these are going to be a touch more overstable. You guys saw Holland Hanley's Instagram a few weeks ago. She was throwing them to a pretty stiff headwind and they didn't budge. I found the same thing with the ones that I've thrown. Very reliably overstable. They have that dead straight flight, and as soon as they get to that 310 to 340 range, they start to fade with a nice subtle skip. And it should also go without saying that these things are gorgeous. I'm sure as we see these things popping up online, there's gonna be a lot of great variation and some that people are gonna pick up and hold on to for a long time because of how good they do look. Next up, let's talk the Aaron Gossage Raptor. The Raptor returns for 2025, and these are gonna be great for, again, guys like me. It's a similar story to the Nuke. These are a little bit on the straighter side. This run might be more similar to the Vulture, the Onyx, as far as its flight goes. Now, we did notice that for sidearms, it tends to want to turn its flight with a touch of fade at the end. As far as feel is concerned, they're not dead flat, they're not puddle topped, they just have a little bit of a shoulder to them. Very comfortable for both backhand and sidearm. All right, we'll keep marching forward here with the Buzz and the Buzz SS. Chris Dickerson's back with the Buzz, and these, I think, are maybe some of the closest to their 2020 counterparts. If you recall, Paige Pierce ran the Buzz as her first Tour Series disc when she joined Discraft, and those remain some of the most coveted buzzes to date. That run of Z-Swirl remained consistently overstable, and for people who like the buzz and want one that stays overstable for a while, the 2020 run is great. And I feel I can say confidently, at least with the ones that we threw, that the Chris Dickerson ones fly very similar to those 2020 Paige Pierce run. And so if you're gonna be someone looking for that overstable buzz, this year's Chris Dickerson Buzz is going to be something to look into. Next, the Buzz SS. This is something that I know a lot of you are going to be very excited for. Ezra Robinson on Team Discraft. His first Tour Series disc ever, and the Buzz SS is back in the lineup. And these things are great. Nice subtle flip up, dead straight, very much a point and shoot mid-range, and something that I think is going to complement Ezra's game very much going forward. And I'll mention it one final time, I do not have any of the Andrew Presnell Swarms. I think they're going to be beefcakes, but again, you guys are just going to have to wait and see. All right, we're gonna take a timeout for just a second to talk about the giveaway, as usual. It wouldn't be a Park to Review video if we weren't giving something away, right? So today, as you might expect, we're gonna be giving away a Tour Series Nuke. It looks like this, flies great, it feels great, looks awesome. All you have to do to enter is to go in the description, fill out the form, obviously subscribe, ring that bell, it helps us out a ton. Last week's giveaway winner, in the palm of my hand, you sir have won yourself a Anthony Barela World Tour Z Zone. So congrats, and yeah, let's get back into the video. Okay, so starting to transition into our last two molds here, we have the Adam Hammis Zone, and of course the Paul McBeth Luna. Starting with the Zone, these are interesting. As far as flight is concerned, they are very, very overstable. I think that's partially due to their profile. They have like a bit of a tent top dome right in the middle. They don't feel domey. They feel flat around the edge, but as soon as you get into the middle of the flight plate, they have this little tip, which gives them a lot of extra overstability. These are big beefcake zones that the big arms are gonna love to throw. And last but not least, the Paul McBeth Luna. Well, not that one. The new Paul McBeth Luna. So I'm sure a lot of you guys were like me, hyped up to throw Z-Swirl Lunas again. Can I say confidently that they're gonna fly like every single 2020 Luna ever? No, but I can say with the three that I have here that they all feel basically identical and they all flew pretty much exactly the same. And that flight was dead straight with a touch of turn in the middle of its flight. These aren't overstable putt and approach discs, these are neutral flying, dead straight putters that I feel like you can put a lot of torque into and they're gonna fly straight. Obviously, because of the popularity of the 2020 Luna, this run has a lot to live up to, but I think they'll be just fine. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed watching that video. It was definitely fun to throw and chat about these discs. Again, if you want to pick them up, link in the description, shop ledgestone.com. They are going to be available in limited quantities for now, but again, Discraft is going to be dropping these in full later this spring, so stay tuned. It's been my pleasure. We'll see you in the next one.